Hey everyone, going live today, taking some questions, gonna talk about whatever you want to talk about. Yeah, so last night I was on a show, and for some reason the name is escaping me. Hi Renee, how are you? Hi Jesus. And yeah, so today's like whatever you guys want to talk about. Bigfoot, aliens, Ghost, you name it. It's all open game. I got about an hour. Yeah, so I was on Daniela's show last night, and it was so fun. I enjoyed it so much. I saw that some of you were in there. I wasn't in the chat. I was in her little thing, studio or whatever it was, and I couldn't see the chat. How's it going, Roland? I can barely see this thing. I don't know if I can read the thing without going. Yeah. Yeah, there you are. There you all are. I see you in there. In that little bitty camera. COVID 19 and 5G. COVID 19 is, I think it's a false flag. I really do. I don't think it's anything. I think they're just pushing fear. How's it going, Connie? Yeah, I think they're pushing fear on the COVID 19. Not saying that it's not real, though. Hi, Bonnie. I actually don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think they're just pushing fear. 5G, the jury's out still on 5G with me. I'm not real sure about it. Hi, Bama from Alabama. Yeah, so don't panic and don't buy into the fear on the COVID-19 coronavirus thing. They're wanting everyone to freak out and panic, and they're trying to take the attention off of what is going to happen to them. Arrests are starting. I mean, you guys did read about what happened with Hillary today, right? The judge is calling her in. They're going to put her under oath, and they're going to talk about emails. Finally, right? Like if we did one email like Hillary did, 30,000 emails, we would be in jail. If we tried to bleach bit and we hammered phones to hide evidence, we would definitely be under the jail. That there's coming a time here real soon where there's going to be justice. Finally justice. And it's going to be high profile. And they needed something to take the attention off of it, maybe stall it from happening, and voila, coronavirus. There you go. That's what it is. And don't buy into it. I'm not saying it's not real though. Hey Adolf, how you doing, man? So that's where I'm at. 5G, I don't know what to think about 5G yet. I'm not real sure if it's going to be anything. Everything's going great, my brother. My eye is healing up. Now I got to go to the dentist, though. I got 3 teeth that I've been letting go for a long time, and I think it's even starting to, maybe that's what's causing my eye problem. I don't know. But we'll find out. I'm going to start the dentist search thing tomorrow. Thank God I have a regular doctor, and he gave me antibiotics to get the swelling and everything down. I'm a little bit swollen over on this side still, but other than that, I'm healthy as a horse. Really. I mean, I can't hike very good and all that, but I'm pretty healthy. And even though I can't see, I'm still healthy. Sounds like I'm not, but I am. Yeah, so last night's show was really fun. I talked about something I don't normally talk about, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. How's it going, David? The UK fan, right on. That's where Daniela's from. She's in the UK. I have a lot of friends in the UK and Scotland, over there in Europe, all around, all around the world. Oh, you're driving? Yeah, teeth do. And I have three real bad ones. I've been having a bad time or a hard time getting dentists because of the blood thinners I take. They just can't just pull them out. It has to be a surgery. And then Medicare, what I have for in America is Medicare, and they don't have dental. So, and then my income's really low, so uh, the dentists don't really want to see me that bad. But it's coming to where I have to see one, and I'll have to arrange something because I can't keep going on like that. I mean, my health might improve dramatically once I get these teeth fixed, you know. And they've been, I guess it's been 3 years now. I've been dealing with it. That's a long time. And all three teeth are down below the gum line, so I mean it has to be dealt with pretty soon. One of them's infected pretty good, the one right here, but we'll get it taken care of. And then I don't know how long that one's going to put me down though. I don't know how they're going to do it, like one at a time or all three, or I have no idea. But I was assured by my doctor, my regular doctor, they'll probably do surgery and then just suture it up instead of letting it try to clot, because with the Plavix that I take, probably won't clot for a long time, so it has to be dealt with in a different way. Hi Gladys, how are you? I'm happy to see you too. I see you guys. I see you right there. Yeah, I'm on the SSA or SSDI, the one you pay for. You pay all your life in it, and if you ever become disabled, then you get to collect it. Then they fought me 5 years to keep me from having it, even though they had all my medical records. They're looking at me, right? Looking at me, and they said you don't look like you're disabled. And finally, one judge, on my second court case, she gave it to me, and then she even gave me 2 years beyond. She asked me what day did I think I become disabled, and because I didn't want to be disabled, I kept trying to work for about a year and a half out of a wheelchair and stuff. Nobody was hiring me, but I didn't want to give up. And finally, I gave up, and when I went in there, they were looking at me saying, "Well, you're fine. You could just be sitting in that wheelchair just because." And that made me realize they probably didn't even look at my medical records. And the second judge was looking at my medical records, and she just not. I wasn't even in there 2 minutes, and she gave it to me and said I got railroaded, and gave me 2 years more back pay than what legally the Social Security law says you can get. But the judge could do anything they want, so I got blessed that way. And I bought this car I'm in right now. I just paid cash. I'm allergic to payments. I actually never ever paid payments on cars ever. One time I did it, and that was I was working, making a lot of money, and I thought I'll just make payments on the next car. And then I got hurt by a doctor, and it got repoed. It went on my credit. It was like I should have paid cash. I could have, and I didn't. I wanted to keep some cash, and I shouldn't have done it. I should have just paid cash like I always did. So I don't believe in car payments. I think if people are gonna want to buy a car, buy a buy a beater car, and then make payments, car payments, to your bank account. And when you have enough to buy a car, sell the beater and take all the money and go pay cash for a car. And then start making payments to yourself again, car payments. And when that car breaks or, is ready for a new one, sell that car and go buy another one cash. Don't ever make payments. Make payments to yourself. You collect the interest. They don't collect the interest. And you'll always have a car. And that's the best advice I could give anyone on cars. I know you can't do it with a house, but you can do it with a car. And so never make a car payment again if you can help it. Yeah, for sure. And just imagine how many, if you were forced, like bought a car making payments and you drove that, you would own the car after say 4 years, and then all the rest of the time you're just making that car payment. Just act like you got a car payment and put it in the bank, and be strict with yourself. Do it. Put the money in the bank like you have a car payment. Come up with a number that's, $200 a month or $225 a month, whatever it is for a car payment, and start putting it in the bank. And one day you'll be buying a car, a good car, cash. And you may have cash left over, and just keep that in there. You never know, you buy the car and it's a lemon, you drive off the lot and the engine blows, or the rear end falls out, or the transmission goes bang, and you gotta fix it, so you'll have a little money to fix it. Just some things that I've learned along in life that I live by. And I love that I don't have a car payment, believe me, always. Yeah, it's a Toyota Sienna, a 2000 model. When I bought it, it had 50,000 miles on it. It's about 108,000 miles now. It still has about 300 more thousand miles to go. I keep up on it. Extraterrestrial aliens, crop circles. Oh man, that's a lot. Yeah, God created it. Yeah, the SSI, if you have SSI, they don't allow you to have more than 2,000. So you're going to have somebody help you out there. Yeah, Toyotas, they do. I just had it at the mechanic. And if you have SSA, which is the one that you pay into, you can have more in your account. You could even own a house. But if you have SSI, you can't your car can't be over $10,000. You can't have more than 2,000 in your account. You can't own a home. And that's the welfare kind of Social Security where you never paid into it. But if you have the disability insurance where you paid into it in your working life, and you're able to collect that, they can't tell you what to do. Yeah, my wife's in the physical therapy again. That's where I was last time. This time I parked a little further back into a corner where I don't have all the sounds and the people staring at me. Because last time I was parked right at the front door, and everybody was staring at me and looking at me all weird. And the noise is ridiculous. Cars driving by and everything. I'm in a better spot here. But it looks kind of dark in the back of the van, though. Hey, Night Rider, what's up? Yeah, so I'm excited. Spring is coming. Squatch season is upon us. And I can't wait to get out there again. I just can't wait. I can't wait to get out there. I have some things I want to try. I have some new places I want to go. A lot of the places, there's some places here in the valley floor that no leaners in this bush. There might be some creepy things in there though, like some waspers and stuff like that, black widows. But yeah, I want to go to some places where I can go live while we're squatching and take you guys along like that. And also be taping, with another camera and have extra footage when I get back. But I want to do some live squatching with everyone, and especially in this really hot place called the Kings River. It seems like for all seasons these Bigfoot are in the Kings River and all up and down in there, and I can't wait to go get in there and take you guys live in there. Yeah, the COVID was a biological weapon. In fact, because of what I do and what I've been doing for, I don't know, 10, a dozen years, say, I have a lot of contacts, and some of them are military or government, and they have been talking about this for a long time. They were talking about this is like the Hail Mary, right? When as and this is pre-Trump, before Trump was even thought of as running for president. These guys were already planning to take the deep state down. All these deep state people, all they've been doing is taking our rights, taking land away from us, gating things, taking all the businesses out of the country and putting them in the other countries and trying to make China the superpower. I mean, China might still wind up being a superpower. I mean, they have like 5 times more land mass than we do, 20 times more people than we do. That means they have more resources than we do, and they can probably become a superpower after and only because the deep state's been selling off our best technology to them and setting up the factories for the phones, the TVs. Everything that used to be made in the USA is now made in China. So they have all the technology. So these guys, they've been talking about, the talk or the buzz was that as they take down the deep state, the Congress people, the military industrial complex, the CIA people, deep state, the officials, like people that work in the government. They're not elected officials. They're high ups though in government departments, and they all work together as a team to make United States not the superpower anymore. And actually, they want to take out every country and put them under the UN or the EU, whatever you want to call it. And that was going to be the one that policed everyone and made the laws for everyone, and we were going to be subject to that. That's what they wanted. This is what we're seeing is the dismantling of what they've been working on since probably Kennedy got killed. John F. Kennedy, when they killed him because he wanted to out them then, and they killed him. So now we're seeing finally uh, the end of the plan, right? We're starting to see this silent war break out into the public, and they got their Hail Mary going right now with the last ammunition they got against the Patriots is this virus, and they'll probably try to kill as many people as they can, but they are, according to my sources, they have a cure for it. It's only a matter of time. It can't live through the summer. It's gonna stop as winter ends. So will that virus, just like any other virus. So don't freak all out. Please don't freak out. That's all. That's what they want. Don't do what they want. Do what you want. Do what you want. That's what I say. And don't worry about buying masks and all this stuff. Don't you realize if you put the mask on and you're breathing it in and sucking all the stuff into the mask, right? As soon as you handle that mask, you're getting it all over your hands. So you need to wash your hands immediately after touching that mask. And I think it's just a waste of time. some of it is intended to go into your eye, your ear, your nose, your mouth. I mean, it can bypass that mask. The mask isn't the big deal. It really isn't. And this COVID isn't the big deal at all. And a lot of people are going to be just they love to negative, right? They love when the news tells them to be afraid and they panic. I mean, people, they love to do that stuff, and I don't know why. I have no idea. They've been programmed maybe since they were little kids to be that way. I don't know. It's totally being hyped. It is way hyped. And the news knows that they're hyping it. It's total hype. It really is. If you read about it and you research on it, you'll see that it's hyped. And then they pay doctors to do little videos and stuff like that to scare people. I mean, don't believe none of that garbage. Jeez, yeah. Sounds about right. The Chinese Bible, and their god is Buddha. I don't know who they have. A dragon in Chinese would be the dragon, which the Bible talks about. The reptilian dragon is the bad guy. And the dragons and reptilians, they're all over the world. Everywhere you go, like if you go to Europe, they had, the dragon slayers. They have movies about it. You know what movies are coming on right now that are telling where we're at in this whole thing is the Marvel and all these people. I mean, they've had them in comics for a long time, but now they're really pushing this stuff, super soldier stuff. Everybody, they don't really have superpowers, but they've been mechanically or changed, genetically, and now they have superpowers, and they battle against the bad superpowers. We're starting to see that play out in the movies. That's where we're at. We're going to see that in real life. Wow. You never know, man. You never know, Elbow. You never know. Hi, Elbow. Yeah, all the mutants and stuff. Yeah, they suck, man. We should be able to say whatever we want about China. That's the deep state for you, putting laws on things, making it where we don't have any rights. We don't have any, and they would love to take our guns. Once they take our guns, then they can take every right from us and we can't fight it. And the whole reason that there's a Second Amendment is so that they can't do that. It's not for hunting or anything like that. It's for freaking bad government that wants to control power, corruption. That's what the Second Amendment's all about. And here they are. They know they know they're bad, they know they're evil, they know the only way they can control us is take our guns. So don't ever fall for that. Don't ever fall for that. Keep the guns. Yeah. Smoke weed. I can't smoke weed. I wish I could, but I can't. That's all going to come out, David. That's all going to come out. And it isn't just America. The Britons, they just got rid of, they did the Brexit. Their whole government, the Queen, all them people, they're bad. They've been in power how long? And the people seem to like it or be happy with it. That's all going to change. The people are taking the power back, and they're afraid of us. I'm going to tell you that right now. There's more of us than there is of them. And as Trump, and I can't remember the guy's name in Europe, as they take control and the power back and give it back to the people, you're going to see more countries do it. France, you're going to see China fighting for their own. You're going to see Germany fighting for their own. You're going to see all the countries try to get the power back. Yeah, all the ones running right now, they think that if they run for president, they can't be prosecuted. But only that's a lie. They can be prosecuted. If they're a crook, it doesn't matter if they're running for president or not. I'll probably get this show will probably get banned from what I'm saying on here right now, probably. It'll probably get taken down. You talk about this stuff. I don't usually talk about stuff like this because I try to avoid that limelight on this. But we need to be awake, and we need to be aware, and we need to share what we know. Yeah, they're toast. They are. Hey, Baron von Strauss. Sasquatch. There's a lot more than there was. There a lot more people are being awoke, and I think it's great. Head for the hills. I would love to. I would love to right now. In a couple of months, we'll be able to go all over the mountains, and I plan on it. I plan on it. The focus the last 5 years has been on this one section of mountains near Sequoia National Park and Kings Canyon National Park. They're kind of together, you know. There's Kings Canyon and Sequoia, or whatever. I'm going towards Yosemite National Park this time. I'm gonna put my attention towards Yosemite National Park. That's where I grew up. That's where I cut my teeth on the Sasquatch stuff. When I started hooking up with Jeffrey and everybody else, they were all over going this way towards south, towards the other national parks. Hey, no, there was no shortage of Bigfoots over there and all this, but I left my true roots over by Yosemite, and so I'm going to go back to Yosemite side, and I'm not going to go into the national park. I'll be just outside the boundaries, just like we do with Sequoia and Kings Canyon. We skirt the park on, just outside of the park lines. Because once you get inside there, you can't have a gun, you can't use your drone. There's so many laws. But outside of the national park, you can do a lot more stuff. Groveland, I'm not sure. Is that like near Sacramento or something like that? This dude better not hit my car. Well, I never seen a Bigfoot portal, but I know a lot of people that have and have talked to them. Near Yosemite, I lived all around Yosemite, El Portal, all down Bryce Canyon, down the Merced River and everything. But the north side of the park, I never got too far that way. But the south side of Yosemite National Park, really familiar with it. Oh yeah, all the time do overnighters. Actually do weekers, weekends and total week, 5-6 days out there. It's birds, buddy. There's some bluebirds over here, some blue jays. They just flew over me. I saw them. Hey, Cold Warrior. And I had somebody that I took a picture of a bee. You know how the bees swarm, and the bees swarmed into this tree in the bank parking lot, downtown city, right in the middle of the city. And I took a picture of it, but I zoomed kind of in on the bees, and I shared that picture. And this guy, he sent it back to me in a message with 5 circles showing Bigfoot was right there by all the bees, And I wrote him back and said, that's in the city, it was in a tree that couldn't support a monkey, let alone a Bigfoot. I mean, it wouldn't support me even, was just a little tree. I can't remember the name of but it was an immature tree. I mean, the picture made it look like the limbs and everything were bigger, but I was zoomed in on the swarm, and it was just a small little tree. That guy got really mad at me and unfriended me and everything because I kept debunking his Bigfoot pictures with red circles in them everywhere. I never did see a Bigfoot in his circles, though, never. Tent. But I have a cot, and I sleep on a cot. And when we go with Jeffrey now, we actually go in a fifth wheel, which is pretty nice. I'm hoping to someday get a trailer, some kind of little camp trailer, because I don't like you sleeping in the tent. And not just because of Bigfoots either. There's other things in the woods that can tear through a tent. Yeah. And it happens. Like you leave your Twinkies under your donuts under your bed, or your Danish, and the bear will rip right through there and get your Danish and maybe mess you up on the way to his meal. Yeah, there's a lot of it. I don't comment on any of them. I try not to comment on the pareidolia stuff. It's like fruitless to tell them, because they see them. They see them, and you can't tell them any different. Got to keep an eye out for my wife. It's starting to get that time. Oh, really? Gonna sell your tent trailer? Hmm. Yeah, see, that's why that story about my tent disappearing, that's kind of why I don't like tents. I mean, that was in 1981 when that happened, and ever since then I don't trust tents really. A soft taco. I'm more like a rump roast. Yeah, that's what they say. They say that the weed does that, but I can't have it. I can't have it, sadly. It causes heart attacks. And unless it's some different strain that, if they can find a strain that doesn't cause a heart attack, then I'll try it. Yeah. But then the CBD, or however you call it, and it doesn't work for me either. I would love to. I would love to cure my cancer. I don't have cancer though, but I would love for her to try something that works. Oh, I believe it gives the munchies. All my friends that like that stuff, that's what happens to them. They start off really going strong, and next thing you know, they're in the kitchen. The next thing you know, they're passed out. Yes, we do. Oh man, Bama, you're making me jealous. I want a trailer so bad. Actually, I want a metal. I don't really want a tent trailer so much, because the same thing, it's just a tent. The bottom half's kind of a trailer, but the top half is, tent. What's the worms for? What's the best worms for redwoods with pineapples? I don't understand the question. Yeah, I remember that too. I heard they did develop something from those, and it was supposed to be for high chronic pain people, but I never heard what anything come of it. And I follow that stuff because of the disease I have. I follow all the pain things. I'm well versed in MS and fibromyalgia and all that stuff because of it. Oh, a pot growing question? Huh. I would say I wouldn't put the worms. I would buy the castings. You can buy them online, and then make tea out of it. Take a couple of. All right, David. You take care, man. Don't let the bed bugs and the squatches get you. But I would buy like 5 pounds of castings and then take, I don't know, a cup and put it in a 5 gallon bucket and buy a little air pump for a fish tank and put an aerator on it, drop it in there, and then buy a paint strainer and every day go out and stir it around for about 5 days, and then because that's going to grow all the beneficial little things, critters that you want in it, and then strain it through a paint strainer into a gallon jug, and then water all the any plants, any plants, trees, bushes, flowers, vegetables, anything, house plants, roses. It's good for anything. It's nature. Nature, that's nature's stuff. If it's a paper pot, the worms will eat it. But if it's not a paper pot, they won't eat it. They won't eat plastic or metal. But they will eat the little cardboard pots. They'll eat it. No earthworms will eat any plant unless it's dead. Then they'll eat it. But they don't eat anything that's alive. Yeah, so, and it's beautiful. It's like springtime. You know that? Is it springtime where you are? It's springtime where I am. I mean, I'm in t-shirt and it's probably almost 70 degrees. It's a little cooler today than it was a couple days ago. I'm getting excited. It's almost time to go camping. It's almost time to go on those trips up to the high country. I love, even though I'm not comfortable in the high country like I used to be, the pre-Bigfoot, I still like going. It's still beautiful and the smells are great. Probably like twice a month, 2 or 3 times a month, we go out. I want to go a little more. My grandkids are interested in it, and while they're living with me, I want to go out. That's when I'm going to go live. I'll take my grandkids and I'll just go down to the river bottom and I'll keep them close watch and just look for evidence and fly the drone down a couple of miles and see if maybe we could catch a Sasquatch bent over the creek or standing by the creek, and not because the drone moves like 40 miles an hour, so I can jam from where I am and get up there about 400 feet up where I can see 2 or 3 miles easy. But then I can aim it down and I can cruise that 4 miles and hopefully catch, something out there, and they're not unaware, that they don't realize that this little drone's getting their picture. And also it gets up on them before they can get out of the way. And maybe we could catch them running off or moving or something like that. If they stand still, you might not see them, but if they move, we'll see them with the drone. That's why when I put the videos up on Sky Squatching, I put the whole 100% all the video. And I cut none of it. Because when I'm flying that drone, I am in Squatch zone. So, I mean, it could be, they could be 5 feet from me and I wouldn't know it. But as I climb altitude and aim the camera down, I'm looking at angles that I can't see with my eyes. But the camera can. And maybe they don't know, that there's a camera on it. And I'm just buzzing around, flying around, and maybe catching them. And sometimes I may not see the Sasquatch in there, but only as people watch it, they might see it. That's happened, I don't know how many times with me and Jeff. We have these game cameras out, and then we share some pictures, and then you guys find the stuff. You guys find the Bigfoots in it, and that's what I'm hoping happens. If I don't see it or catch it, I hope somebody else catches it if it's there. And it's happened before with Jeffrey, me and Jeffrey doing the game cameras and stuff. You guys actually seen the Bigfoots and drew our attention to, told us where to go look at it, and blew us away. It happened like 3 times. So that's my plan on that sky squatching thing. Capture as much area as I can and hope that either I see it or somebody else sees it, and we get video of these things. I know if I see it, you will see that little drone dive straight down to wherever it is. I'll try to catch it moving if I can. It's hard to see though when I'm actually flying the drone. I'm looking at my phone. That's my video screen, so I can't see really good on the phone. But when I put it in the editor, it's 4K video, and I watch it on a 42-inch television, and I hope that I see something on there. If I don't see anything, then I still upload it to YouTube, because that doesn't mean it's not there. If I don't see it, doesn't mean it's not there. No, Jeffrey Gonzalez, the Paranormal Central. We were a team there for, I don't know, 9 years doing the Paranormal Central show. But he kind of wigged out on me because of my disease, the disease I have. It started freaking him out, and he started saying I'm too disabled to help him. And mostly, I shouldn't say this, live on YouTube, but mostly I think it's because he doesn't share the spotlight very well. That's what I think, really. But he's using my disability. Yeah, I am. I'm in a bush cave. I love it. It's beautiful right here. Little breeze blowing. Somebody gonna back into the spot, one spot over from me. He's gonna be in a bush cave. It's cool. I still like Jeff, and I don't know if he likes me, but but I still like him, and I understand. I worked at a casino where ego is like everyone had one. And I worked I worked right with him. I was a director. We'd have director meetings, and I don't even know how all those guys fit in the meeting, tell you the truth. Here's a bunch of guys making $130,000 a year each, and they all are so dang important that they can't fit around the table with each other. It's just kind of ridiculous sometimes. That's funny. I just put that, like, you can go on my channel right now. I'm going to change these every so often. I forgot to tell you guys that. I put a playlist, and I called it the Wayback playlist or something like that. Blast from the Past playlist, something along those lines. And it's a bunch of old shows. I put like, I don't know, half a dozen shows from the past that Jeff and I have done. And every so often, I'll change them out and give everybody something else to watch. And I did it because I can. And I know he doesn't want me to. He trademarked the Paranormal Central name and all that. But only he can't take me out of a show that I was part of and helped create. So everyone, the Wayback Zone, yeah. And I'm gonna what I have, I'm gonna share every so often and change those shows out. I probably have 300 shows. I mean, we created the show on my computer, and he verbally gave me permission to start a YouTube channel and show these shows. So all these shows are on my computer. That's what we did the whole show on, was my computer. And it saved, I didn't even know it, but it was saving a file to this hard drive I had in there. And I have all these shows, and I was telling him about it, and I was going to give him the show so he could do a blast from the past on his channel. I just haven't been able to. I think I told him right the last time I was on his show, which was before Christmas, but only, I feel like that it's our show. I don't care if he, you know, uh, trademarked Paranormal Central the name. I'm in that show. I helped create that show. I have that show on my computer by default. And I created the YouTube channel that it was on, and he gave me permission that I could, because he said, "Oh, you're not going to make $1 million on it." He didn't care about it because it's not going to make any money. It never made any money. Still, I don't make money. YouTube doesn't pay money, not unless you got 2 billion followers, and then they probably mess with you and take half of it. I mean, YouTube's a no money maker thing. That's why you see everybody doing their Patreon account and their PayPal account and selling T-shirts and all kinds of stuff. That's how you make the money if you're gonna want to make money. You don't make money on YouTube. That's a long time ago. That was like 9 years ago or so. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, I used to like Danny's report. He really worked hard on that. He did his homework, and it was fun to hear him do that report. And he came up with some good stuff. Yeah, well, I try, man. I just want to do my own thing and be who I am, and people can take me or leave me. I don't care, really. Really, I don't. Um, I just want to have fun, and I hope everybody has fun that tunes in and stuff. And if they're not having fun, see ya. Go have fun somewhere. Find somebody you like. I feel that I'm really good buds with him, but sometimes he doesn't make me feel like that. If you know what I mean. He he blames a lot of stuff on me, and if I can't, he puts deadlines that he was putting deadlines I couldn't ever meet, and they were just made up deadlines. You know what I mean? Like, everything has to be done by Tuesday at 2 o'clock. For why? Why? Was there something pressing that it had to be done by 2 o'clock, knowing that I would almost kill myself trying to do that? And then if you didn't make it, then, he would just ride me and act all like a punk. And I forgive him. I mean, I don't hold it against him or anything. That's just Jeff. That's just how he is. If you're late, you're gone. He's going to leave you there. And I remember when I used to be that way a little bit back in the day. And I learned really hard that you have to treat the people that are working with you and helping you to create things. You try to put the credit for them. If you can build enough people up, you'll go right up with them. And you're actually being the leader. You're going to be still the leader. And everybody will love working with you. But if you're like a slave master and a write-up king and all that, you're just taking yourself out. Yes, sir, Colin, you're right. Yeah, you should. Everyone should see somebody's eyes grow back. That that was pretty cool. I'll never, ever, ever forget it. And I wish the people were alive that had that happen. They're not alive though anymore. Yeah, he has. He's doing really well. He's starting to get it. I think that he has to be real and stop faking. Like, don't stop trying to be something he's not, and go on there and be real, and he will be very successful. Yeah, I can. That was the Pentecostal Church of God. Was that's who that's the church affiliation that I was working for. Pentecostal Church of God. It was based out of Joplin, Missouri. I'm pretty sure. And I seen a lot of stuff. I didn't even tell all the stuff that happened in Africa. I got a schooled on voodoo, a lot of stuff that we ran into along the way, because the voodoo, they didn't like these Christian people coming in there. So there was these witch doctors and stuff like that throwing curses and all kinds of stuff at at us as we went to these villages and stuff like that. And sometimes there was even warriors out there, telling us we couldn't even go in the village, that they owned the village. And like one time I was on the beach, and I mean, this has nothing to do with the Christians. The only thing that they did was, we were sitting in a bus, and my back was to the beach, and we're having a meeting. We're getting ready to shoot some video on the beach, and we're waiting for the sun to be just right, almost a sunset. And then this guy was going to dress up like the Apostle Paul, and he was going to preach with chains and everything, and he's going to dress up like that. And we were talking about that, what the angle of the shot and what we're going to do. And we had to go out there like 5 days in a row to get the whole thing. And we had to start at the same time every day and all that, so the sun was the same and the shot looked the same. It seemed like we did it all in one day, but it was actually 5 days. And I have my back to the beach, and these 7 guys are sitting looking at me, and behind me is the beach. The beach is called Pleasure Beach. Every beach was Pleasure Beach. And there was all these people running around with no clothes, and we're talking French, German, Dutch, American. They had the airlines had a resort right there just for the airline employees only, because the plane didn't take off for 30 days, so they would stay at these resorts until their plane took off again. I wish I was staying at that resort. But man, the stuff that I had to hear these guys talk about, it was making me mad. Like, let's change positions. They were appalled at all these people running around naked, and I'm thinking, I think it's beautiful. Like, let's change places. I'll look at all the naked people, and you just look at me, and we'll talk business. We'll get something done. Well, one day the first day that we got out there, we had just came back from the bush, and we were about, I don't know, 600 or 700 miles into the bush in the jungle, for 2.5, 3 weeks at this one village. All the roads are all dirt. The cars had holes in the floorboard. So as we're driving, the dust is just coming up in the car. It's like a big dust thing. And I put a thing over my face, but after a while, you're just covered in dust, and it was red, and I felt grimy. There's 85% humidity or 90% humidity, and I was just all grimy. And we got to the beach, and it was beautiful, and the water's warm, and I'm running out there, stripping my clothes off, and I'm not going to strip all the way down. I have a little bit of modesty, even though I know nobody would even care. I care, and I'm just going to go down to my tidy whities, or whatever you want to call it, and then I'm going to get in there, and I'm going to wash down and get that red dirt off of me. Well, as I'm running down the beach to get to the water, all of a sudden I hear all this commotion behind me. And I mean it, yelling and screaming. And then finally somebody fires a shot, and it stopped me cold. And I turn around, and here comes this group of people with guns and everything. And they're yelling at me. And I stop, and I wait for him to get up to me. And they're telling me, stay out of the water, stay out of the water. And I asked why, why can't I go in the water? And it all boiled down to on Tuesday, there was a curse on the water. This medicine, witch or whatever she was, voodoo witch, she cursed the water on Tuesday that if anyone got in the water or fished or did anything, all the fish would go away for a whole season and then they would starve to death. And they were serious. And I tell them, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in none of that. I'm American. I'm going to go get a bath. All I want is a bath. I'm just going to go take a bath. And the guy, man, they lowered their guns down on me, and they were going to shoot me if I made one more step towards the beach. Well, I decided that wasn't a good idea. So I went ahead and got dressed and stayed dirty till the next day. And the next day, I went out there and there was people in the water, so I stripped down to my undies and I got out there and washed myself down real good, and everything was good. But when you go other places, you gotta be careful. We're not in America, or in, I don't know, like I say, we're not in America anymore. You go over there and you go to these other places and they have different belief systems, and you could get yourself in a lot of trouble. I mean, one day we were on our way out of town, and they had a law that you can't be gay because of AIDS. And they actually, I guess it was our fourth checkpoint. Every 20 years or every 20 miles, there was a checkpoint, a police checkpoint. And I couldn't figure out why, there's no war going on or anything. Why do they have a checkpoint? Well, the checkpoint was to keep check on their own people. Like the other day, last night I talked about how they shot 100 people on the beach. Well, we got to this checkpoint and we were the next one. How you dig, Daytona? What's up, man? We were the next car to go in, and I mean, every one of them, they made us take all our bags out, unpack everything, and then put it all back in every 20 miles. Well, this time, the car ahead of us, it was a little Toyota truck or a Nissan. It had a canopy on the back. It was a flatbed with a canopy. There were so many people on top of it and inside of it, you couldn't see in there. And all of a sudden, there was all this yelling and commotion, and they drug these two guys out. And one guy was fighting all the way. The other guy just stiffened up, and they just drug him over to the side of the road. And the one that was fighting, they shot him first. They got him all kneeled down, and then they just shot him in the head. And the next guy, he just laid there flat, and they shot him and blew his brains out right there. And I was freaking out, like, oh my God, I don't want to go through this checkpoint. And the driver kept saying, "You're fine, you're fine." I'm like, I'm not fine, I'm not going through this checkpoint, like, turn around, let's go back. This is too much for me. He says, you don't have nothing to worry about, man. You're not gay. And it struck me like, what? Gay? He goes, yeah, if you're gay, that's what happens. But if you're not gay, you're fine. And it was all to keep AIDS from spreading. So that really, that was a trip right there, learning these customs and stuff like that. And one time we had to take a ferry over this river, and I think it's called Lake Volta on the Afram Plains. And we had to wait for the ferry a couple hours, and there's these little kids swimming in the lake. And the lake was beautiful, you know, it was clear. I could see the bottom and everything. And I thought, I'm going to go swimming with him, you know, and I started getting undressed. I was going to get in my underwear and jump off this rock with them and have some fun with these kids. And our driver he grabbed me. He's like, no, 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 you know, don't swim in the water. I'm like, serious? You know, it's really hot. There's no shade. That's beautiful. You know, I'm gonna swim with them. He says, no, you shouldn't. He says, all those kids right there, half of them are gonna die. Be, you know, because of what's in the water. It bores through your skin, and it gets inside of you, and it kills you. I was like, what? Really? You know, and then all I could think about was, you know, there's these little kids right there, and half of them are going to be dead because they swam in this beautiful lake that has something that's going to kill them in it. And it was really, it made you appreciate where you live. If, you know, it made you appreciate what you have. And I mean, it really made you appreciate these things. I tell you, it was an experience. So yeah, there's a whole bunch more too. I mean, I have a ton of stories from there. I was there a little over a month, and we went in and out of a couple of different countries. Yeah, there were some reports. I think it was Cedar and Shields at the Foster Freeze. Somebody saw a triangle right above the tree line. It was huge, and it wasn't making any noise. And then all of a sudden, it just shot straight up and out of sight. And I think Jeffrey already interviewed her. It was a girl. She was crying, and her boyfriend saw it, and a few other people. But Jeffrey, she was the first one to see it. And I think Jeffrey interviewed her. So this coming Wednesday, you might want to tune in to Paranormal Central and check that out. Should be a good show. They're going to talk about all these lights and UFOs that's going on right now. And I can't. I'm actually going to tune in too. I'm expecting my wife to come out any minute. Sweet bolt gun. Right on, man. I'm glad you guys did. I hope I'm not rattling and prattling, you know. I just thought I would be hanging out with you guys for an hour while I wait for my wife. We have to do this twice a week. So be expecting twice a week to me to hang out with you guys and rattle and prattle. Let's not pooey. I have enough of that talk with my grandkids every day. You know, it's only funny for a while, dude. Yeah, yeah. And, you know, like I get this thing with my friends, some of my friends, and they tell me you're full of shit, dude. You know, you're not old enough to have done all the things that you say you did. And then I my comeback to them is you must live a really boring life, because I was always the one that when opportunity arose, instead of saying nah, not today, I grabbed it with both hands and said, let's grab life and let's go experience it. A lot of times I got close to dying because of it, but I have a lot of cool experiences and I don't regret one thing. The only thing I regret so far is I didn't get my pilot license before I got hurt. That was one of the things I wanted to achieve in life, was to fly my own plane or fly a plane. And now I can't do that medically. I can't get certified as a pilot medically. Doesn't mean I still can't fly with other people. In fact, I even have a plan for that. I'm going to go start hanging out at the airport at these private pilot places, and I'm going to get to know some people, and I'm going to go flying with them. And I know, a lot of times they want somebody to go with them. They're flying by themselves. Like, come on, man, let's go, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go flying, and maybe I can take the controls every so often, and fly the plane. I just know I can't be a licensed pilot, but I sure as heck am going to fly. That there's always a way around everything, and if you want it, you'll go after it. If you want to play it safe, then you'll play it safe, and you'll have memories and stuff, but you won't have really fun ones. Like I did the same thing with hot air ballooning. I went out. They were practicing hot air, landing and taking off out by this other river by where I live, and I went out there, and next thing I know all the ballooning guys. I'm flying all the time. I started bringing my camera and taking videos. They would people would pay to go ballooning with their, on their birthday, and I would videotape it and give it to the guy doing the balloon flying, the pilot who owned the balloon, and he would make that part of the package of what he charged for the balloon thing, and I would get free rides forever. And in fact, I went to the balloon festival about 2 years ago, and they were all the same guys almost. They're like, "Hey man, come on, let's go flying," and I couldn't go though because I didn't have time. Right on, Daytona. We'll see you, man. Great videos, by the way. Great videos. I like that last video a lot. I'm gonna be. I've been taking the metal detector. I don't know how to do the GoPro thing like you do. I have to play with that and learn. I just barely took it out recently to figure it out. Looks like my wife is on her way here. So I'm gonna have to cut it short or cut it off right here and go pick her up. But it was fun hanging out with you guys, man. I wish your guys' voice could come through. That would really be cool. Maybe I'll figure out how to do that one day, where we could hear. You guys could ask questions in it, and everybody could hear it. But I know everybody could read the chat. But it's been fun. I love you guys. Praying for you all the time. Keep me in your prayers. You guys make my world go round. I would stop if it wasn't for you guys. I really would. I mean, I wouldn't stop doing squatching and stuff like that, but I would stop doing videos and getting out and sharing everything with you. You guys really are the best in the world, and I love all of you, and I love praying for you, and I love hanging out with you guys. You're just the best. Super Saturday night call-in show. Okay, I'll do one. I'll see if I can do one. I will. It'll probably be on my phone. I can't do a studio yet. I haven't figured out how to do it, and I don't want to stress my daughter out too much. I love her, and I love the grandkids, and right now they need that room, so they can have that room. They can have it as long as they need it, and I'll support them forever, and until they can get on their feet, and I'll do what I can to help. So if that room helps, I don't mind at all giving it up. There's always another way, and I'm figuring it out, and I'll figure out a way. So anyways, I gotta go. She's giving me the look like she ain't walking over here. She just stay standing over there and just look at me like. All right, you guys. Take care. I'm praying for you. I'll see you probably in a couple days. Because we're going to do this twice a week. Okay, now I got to figure out how to stop it. Yeah, there's a way to stop it. Yeah. Good night.